What makes for a good park up?
So how do we select park ups? And do we use Park for Night? Well, for one thing, we do use Park for Night, but we by no means rely on it. We use our own personal judgment. If we don't like the look of it, if one of us doesn't approve of it, which is normally Karen, we'll move on for whatever reason. Now, we're parked on a residential street. Would we park here? And if you look, you're really in view of people's houses. And we kind of think we would get away with it, but we think it's not very good etiquette.
Right then, shall we go and have a look at some park ups and see if we will be happy with them or not?
We actually would never use these park ups for the simple reason that we're actually in our hometown of Ripon. But anybody who watches this wants to find a park up in Ripon, while we can't verify that they're any good or not because we've never used them, there are a couple of pointers, ones to avoid and ones to maybe look at. So this is a potential good park up. It's flat, it's level. You've got hedging here so that you're not overlooking or overlooked by the housing. And here you've got a river.
You can't see it, river.
Well, trust me, there's a river. What I like about this as a potential park up is it's level. It's a cul-de-sac because it's blocked off here. So the only things you can have passing is pedestrians and bicycles. You've got a bit of greenery, very pleasant. And you're not upsetting any of your overnight neighbours.
I do actually like this park up. You know, if it would.
Well,
if it were
should
late...
we stay here tonight? We're quarter of a mile away from my house.
No. I mean, if it were late and you had nowhere else to go.
Oh, it's spot on this.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite. I mean, what we do is we wouldn't be getting the camping gear out. We wouldn't
Well,
be
we
getting.
never do. We just don't do that.
We wouldn't be
too much
getting
hassle.
any deck chairs out or awnings or barbecues or whatever. We'd be quiet, of course. But yeah, I'd be quite happy with this because there's not many people around.
Right, this isn't a bad idea for a park up. If you look across here, we're actually in a supermarket, Morrison's as it happens. We're tucked in a corner, slightly out the way, just here. Late at night when the shop closes, it's going to be pretty quiet apart from the odd delivery. This is a potential park up. There's no sign saying no overnight parking. I'm not sure if security would try and move you on later, but tucked out the way after the shop closes at whatever time it is, 10 o'clock at night or 4 o'clock on a Sunday, it's going to be pretty dead in here, as opposed to Piccadilly Circus like it is just at the moment. But there's one danger to look out for. Make sure there's no evidence of anybody doing donuts on the car park. Do you remember, Karen, that time we went to that one that was on a Park for Night, and we got there and it looked promising. Would have needed our wheel ramps, but there was loads of litter, which you pointed out, and then there was also like 3 young lads in sort of hot hatches, and also donuts on the car park.
Yeah.
You said move on, and it might have been fine. They might have, tootled off later, but it could have been a problem, and it wasn't flat. What we have to do for YouTube? What we have to
Such
do?
a shame.
Oh dear.
Shall we go find another park up?
Sport for choice. Ooh, yum yum.
Nice. Come on, let's go see what else we could use as a park up.
Of course, I wouldn't necessarily choose a car park at a supermarket. It would probably be a last resort. I'm not sure, a bit ambivalent on whether you get moved on or not. I wonder if the correct etiquette would be to actually ask at the supermarket if it's okay if you did park. If you turned up late-ish and spoke to security, said, is it okay if we park here for the night because we can't find anywhere else? There'll be no trouble. And we actually offer you free security.
But also we could buy donuts or whatever.
Donuts in the car park, no, it's a no-no. So, ramps. We've got ramps. We barely ever use them. I don't think we've used them probably no more than 3 or 4 times, but they are there as a backup. But We use them in Saltburn. If you look at the picture, we use them in Saltburn so as we could get nice and level. I made a choice on the colour of our ramps, and as you see in the photo, we chose black. More subtle, more stealth. I know you can get them in bright red, bright yellow, whatever, but I thought, no, that just draws more attention to yourself, because when we were parked at Saltburn, you couldn't really tell the ramps were even out because they were just tucked there at the back. So this is a spot-on park up. You're just down from the cathedral.
You can't see it from there,
No, you can't see it, but trust me, it's there.
It's somewhere.
And just up over there is Ripon Market Square. And if you look over here, obviously there's a VANLIFE there with his solar on the roof, and everything else might be living in it full time.
Now, I've just checked, and it is £2.40
For 24
hours. I'd say this is ideal if you want to be in the town, well, the city, because Ripon is a city, and you want a few drinks and a meal or something like
That's
that.
spot on. Luckily, the council have a forward-thinking attitude, and they'll actually realise that if they allow 24-hour parking, then people might be staying in a bed and breakfast or a hotel, or people could be simply like that blue van there. They'll be staying overnight and helping the local economy by buying a few drinks and a meal out, using the supermarket. So, yeah, well done, Ripon Council.
Right, shall we head on and
Yeah.
see what other car parking places we can find to stay overnight, what we would choose and probably what we wouldn't choose. So come on, and I'm on the wrong side, come on.
Oh,
Another donut.
I'm sorry, but I started eating one before I realised this was a critical point of the vlog. So I've got another donut.
It didn't do it on cue. Come on.
Oh, I haven't. I've got to suffer for my art.
So he's just nipped to the toilet, and I'll just show you where we are. We are in an Aldi car park, and they have a parking eye, so you've got to be aware of how long you can stay in these before you get a ticket.
Beware of parking eye. 1.5 hour max. So you definitely can't park here. It's just representative, this one, because obviously it could be any car park, it could be a council car park, but if it's got parking eye on it, you ain't going to get to park without paying a big fine. We try not to park in car parks that say no overnight parking. There's one we used, it was actually near Bamborough, and there was a guy there just quaffing a glass of red wine with his van there, and I said, you stopping overnight, mate? Fairly obviously was. And then we stayed, no problem, you know, but these signs are there to put you off. What we found is you see a load of litter in the car park, it'll be kids, most likely, because it's McDonald's wrappers, Domino's pizzas boxes, stuff like that. Well, you know, VANLIFEers aren't going to dump rubbish like that. And then before you know it, there's a sign going up saying no overnight parking, because they assume that because they see vans there in the morning and rubbish there in the morning, they assume it was a vans when it was people from the night before. So this is a potential park up. It's Palace Road going out of Ripon towards West Tanfield. There's a potential. I've seen vans parked here a few times in the past. Downside of this one is not on the road. It's got a nice pull-in from the main road, but it is fairly noisy. I think it would settle down at night though. So in the case of that car park, we're moving on because we would decide that that maybe wasn't for us. I happen to know another park up which I think would be better, and so we're going to suss that one out just for balance. You see, you can always move on. You don't have to go to the first park up you see if you're not happy with it.
Now we have had some really, really good park ups. We've parked up by coastline, we've parked up in woodland areas, we've parked up, oh, do you remember that park up where we went in Leicester?
Oh, by the canal, Ashby-Zeladouche Canal.
The canal,
It's about half a mile from where the Battle of Bosworth took place. I'm too busy talking and I've driven straight past where I was going to show you. Never mind. I'm going to just pull up here for a sec. Oh dear, the trials and tribulations of making content.
We did a bit of a history thing about Richard III and the Battle of Bosworth, and if you're interested, go check that video out. But let's get back on with these park ups. Now this looks like a really good park up. If you're around Ripon and you're wanting to find somewhere to stay that's quite quiet, which is probably better than that car park near the city centre.
No, it's also, well, actually, this is a short distance walk into the city.
Well, it is, but
So
it does look quite rural around here.
It's lovely. If you come over here, have a look at this here.
Right near the river. Right near the river, look.
We're this close to the river. Idyllic. Very
Let's have
quiet.
a look down
no
here.
traffic noise. You see that park up we showed you before, which was up Palace Road, going towards West Tanfield. Busy, busy. If you just plumped for that because you thought, oh, well, it'll do. Exactly, it'll do. Whereas look at this, it's just beautiful. You've got just the sound of birds, lovely scenic river, very, very quiet. And actually, as you said, Karen, it's actually probably better than that city centre car park.
I think so. If I was coming to Ripon and, well, if I was coming to Ripon and I didn't live around Ripon, I'd probably choose this over that car park, because you don't have to pay. It's free.
£2.40 saving. So
but look at this. And
that's probably a half pint.
I'm going to try my best.
I wouldn't go much closer. It's getting quite steep. If you fall
I'll be all right. I promise. Look.
Yeah. I think that's
just hold on to me.
now
full. Hold on to me.
Oh dear.
Blummy neck.
So
look at that. Tell you what, if you've got a little kayak, I used to do kayaking. That's perfect for beginner level. That nice and flat. It's what you call a grade 2 river. There's no rapids. It's just a flow.
That's higher up. Right, you
go on,
coming back up again?
Blummy neck. Look, there's even some pretty flowers as well.
Oh look, just seen that sign. Look, just for your benefit, strictly no canoeing.
Shall I take that back? I'll leave that in. But
well, you leave it in, but the point is, on your headbit, there's a sign saying strictly no canoeing. But
ignore what I said earlier. There's
you could say it's not a canoe, it's a kayak. Don't you know anything?
Sorry, ignore what I said. You're not allowed, okay? So just ignore what I said. But it's lovely.
Yeah.
Look at this.
And we'll put in, what, 3 words on this one, won't we?
What 3 words?
Blown candle sentences.
What 3 words? We'll put them down here. Right. Also, what you've got round here is a couple of nice benches. You want to chill out, have your evening meal on. But yeah, I consider this as a really good park up.
Yeah, spot on.
Ideal.
I'd kind of forgotten about it, to be honest. But it's spot on.
Right, let's get on. Let's see what else we can find.
No, we're not doing very well at this park up thing, because we've talked about etiquette, we've talked about what our kind of rules are, and we've talked about rubbish park ups, but all we've seemed to find for you is pretty good ones. So can we find some bad ones?
Thing is, what we're trying to do is we're trying to show you what would we determine an ideal park up, whether it be the scenery, if it's got what you call, boy racers hanging around, youths and that. I mean, not all youths
rubbish
are
left.
bad.
Oh,
but, ideally we would want to be either on our own or with fellow
couple of fellow VANLIFers. I think, some of our park ups have been stunning. Some of the ones by the sea, literally within 4 foot of the beach. Just absolutely, you can't beat it, and it's a quiet car park, nobody's there, absolutely stunning. We've done less urban because we're not really into urban. That being said, this is probably a 10 to 15 mile walk into the centre of Ripon if you wanted to come here.
10 to 15 miles?
Minutes.
You said miles.
I said
it's about a 10-minute walk into Ripon city centre.
10 to 15.
And yes, Ripon is a city because it's got a cathedral. Just, you know, we have done a video about that as well. If you want to check the Ripon video out, just put that in.
Bit of a sales pitch going on here. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's, you know, we've been doing this how long now?
A couple of years.
We've been doing this about a couple of years now, and you know, I think we've got to the point where how we can judge what we would class as, you know, relatively safe to park up. Yeah. Apart from when we were in Ireland, we were safe actually. By the way, it was just a feeling that I got. There was
that car park.
There was a massive. There was quite a big car park, and it had, you know, no cars in, and then one or two cars turned up, and you didn't particularly see them doing anything. They weren't campers, but there were one of them. He'd moved from his spot, which was further away, to go park right close to us, right at the side of us, which I thought it was a bit unusual. And normally,
very, very late at night as well.
And you know, I got comments like people were saying, you know, maybe they think that you're doing something wrong.
We were there first.
But you know, the point is, we were there first. But then again, if I arrived at a car park and it was virtually empty, and the one car at one end, I wouldn't choose to go park near them.
Some people do, though, don't they? Some people are so, and I don't think it's the case with that person. I think they were being strange. But quite frankly, but you know, how many times have I gone into a car park and I'm literally the only car there, or maybe the odd other car, and so I park as far away from them as possible, and then next car comes in, they literally park in the next slot right next door to you, and you think, why?
This is how we choose our park-ups, our overnight park-ups, whether it's using Park for Night, or if you can't find anything suitable on Park for Night, you usually use your own judgment and just drive, you know, use your sat nav and drive round and see what you can find.
Well, sometimes but I mean, it's a number of strategies, isn't it? It is Park for Night, and that we use that as a guide, nothing more, and don't rely on it too much. And then the other thing is we use your intuition, and we use Google Maps and look for a location like this one. You know, this would, you know, you're near the town or the city. There's a river, and you think, let's go and suss that one out. That could be good. So yeah.
But if it wasn't for all these lovely little park-ups that we can find, this is how we do our adventures. Oops, sorry. This is how we do our adventures. It's cheaper than a hotel. What have you run over? Oh God. Do you remember that time when we were in...
There's a door open, that's what it is, as well.
Do you remember that time when we were in...
Is your door open? Or mine? Yours.
Remember that time when we were in Scotland and... Oops. Do you remember that time when we were in Scotland when you ran over something? Oh, shh! And you broke the diesel-liter exhaust. Forest of Galloway, weren't it?
It was.
Yes, it was the Forest of Galloway. We tore off the exhaust for the diesel-liter and we had to have that repaired. So yes, there's a video for that as well if you want to go check that out. Where are we going now?
Well, we're in Sharrow.
We're in Sharrow.
It's a nice little village just outside Ripon. So
this is a nice little, what's it, hamlet?
Village, really.
A village.
Yeah.
It's a nice little village of Sharrow.
Cul-de-sac at the end. Just wondering if that would be a potential park up, but you wouldn't need to come here because that riverside park up's so much better. But this is just the principle of sussing things out. That's a few years since I came down here, and it looks to me like it's no longer suitable because it used to peter out.
That's not suitable.
And
you're right outside people's. This is probably where they park the cars.
Exactly, I'm just turning around. But it would have been suitable a few years back. Sometimes
these park-ups that aren't quite as picturesque, they're off the road, quite a way off the road, but they're, you know, it might be near the entrance to a farmer's field or something like that. Some of them are quite, I would say, quite practical. Like the one that we parked up on when we were headed towards Northumberland.
Which one was that?
The Northumberland video, of course.
Yeah, which park up are you referring to? There was a few nights we were there.
Well, I can't remember the park up, but I'm going to show it anyway. It'll be here.
I can't remember it, so just explain it to me so I can...
Well, it's the one where you tested out your solar panel.
Oh, it was just a lay-by, wasn't it?
It was a lay-by.
Yeah, that was nice enough. Nothing spectacular, not a spectacular view.
It wasn't exactly pretty,
Convenient.
but...
And another van turned up, didn't they?
Yeah.
So...
But they left soon.
They left the next morning quite early, didn't they?
Probably didn't like the smell of your cooking.
Ah, that was it.
Right. Oh!
Another one we've got, but I'm not sure if it's still viable. I did hear a rumour that it's now not permitted, but we stayed just near the Abbey at Whitby, and we stayed on the top there. There's a great park up there, and when we were there were, oh God, how many? It was February time, was it? And there must have been at least 16 vans.
I can't remember that one.
The one at Whitby? The
No.
park? Well, then we went round.
Oh yes, I do remember it
Of
now.
course you do. And then we went to Whitby Abbey. There's there's a video about that. Another great video.
That's the Whitby video if you want to check that out. If you want to see what Whitby's like and you've never been,
Or even if they have been, see our slant on it.
and you want to see what Whitby's like, go check that video out. But we can only show you what the park-ups we've been to.
And we've shown you a few today that we haven't been to because they're literally all within about 2 miles of our house. Which kind of makes it we wouldn't tend to stay in these. No reason why you wouldn't though, would there?
No.
Back in the day when my kids were little, I used to keep my caravan on a farm, and it was only literally 2 miles from where I lived. And they did do plots but in the winter you could just leave your caravan. I think it cost me something like £3 a week or something, I can't remember now. But I'd just pay the site fee and take my kids for a couple of nights, and the fact that it was 2 miles away didn't really matter. In fact, if anything, it was easier because they'd squabble less in the back of the car.
What we see in a park-up is somewhere where we're going to feel safe. It's going to be a quiet night, you know, and it's no trouble.
And yeah, hopefully a bit. Oh God!
Blooming heck. Should have had that on film. Somebody nearly crashed. It's clearly people not watching what they're doing.
That was close. That car
Should have been filmed.
went to pull out of the car park, just picking up the kids from school, and was a car coming down. It was very close.
Pulled out, didn't it? Should have been filming that, but it wasn't.
Oh wow! Anyway, I'll just show you this.
I'm always
Look.
filming at the wrong time.
Again, another potential park up if you were here.
Where? Here?
Oh yeah, it's just literally.
I need to turn the camera on because I'm not showing it. Here?
Well, it's doable. It's on the Pateley Road, and it's just by the cricket pavilion and cricket ground, and the rugby ground. It would quiet down later at night. You're not overlooking any houses particularly. You might question the fact that it's on a road that's a through road, but you know, it would be a last resort for me.
I personally would not park here.
Oh, in which case we wouldn't, because the rule is that we both have to agree to it.
Exactly. I like something more scenic.
I've got another great park up that we were at, Cold Cut.
Of course, yeah, that is a really
That's
good
a
park.
fantastic.
It's a
park
big
up.
car park, and it's near Coldstone's Cut,
A lovely view.
a stone quarry, and you quite.
And art installation.
And also, don't forget, if you're into your bikes, there's a big bike for you to play on. We have got a video about that too. So anyway, now we're heading home.
Trying to rack our. We've stayed in a lot of park ups. I mean, I've never bothered to count how many we've stayed in, but we must have done in at least 100. Have we? Do you think?
I don't know.
I've never really analysed it. Well, every time we go away, I mean, France was 16 nights, and then every time we have a week's holiday, we get 9 or 10 nights. We've done a few of them, and then weekends we often do 3 nights.
But I'll tell you what.
I reckon at least 100.
Well, I'll tell you what. We have had some cracking park ups, like I said, beach, canal, scenery, you know, forest, and of course we have had some campsites as well, but I don't think we've filmed them so much. But we have had some really nice park ups.
Well, campsites serve the purpose. We had some great ones on when we did the NC 500. We did some great ones when we were on that, didn't we?
Yep. So now we're home.
Home sweet home, eh? Oop. I got my angle wrong.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yes, of course.
Tell you what. This camera. What are you doing?
Making a pig's ear of it, that's what I'm doing. Third time lucky. Oh, easy. Perfect. Home.
Tell you what though. I don't think we'll ever go in that caravan. It's falling to bits.
Towing a caravan's hard work, and then when you get there, it's quite interesting. When we were at that Molly Galloway, never really thought about it, but we set up in about 4 or 5 minutes. And there was a guy setting up his caravan. He's putting down his stabilisers. He was putting out his fresh water and his waste collection, water collection. And how long did it take him? 15 minutes? Was it 15 minutes?
So I guess that wraps that up then, of where we would choose to park up for the night. We both have to agree on where we park up. By that means we mean that, you know, we both have to feel happy with it, and it's usually me that's disgruntled more.
Always. No, well, not always. We either both dislike it, or you knock it on the head.
Take a donut.
Oh, you forced.
Yeah, donuts. Kids, young kids. Might not be young kids, might be older people that do it.
Handbrake turns.
Handbrake turns, basically.
So I hope our tips about van life, park ups, best park ups, worst park ups, and what I describe as van life etiquette, I hope those are useful tips for you. And so now I think it would be a useful time to end the episode.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Catch you next time. You call it that way.